Hey, what's going on? It's Common Sense. We are back week 28. So this is sports edition, y'all. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of fun topics this week. I know your boy Cole is ready for every single stat on every single player from the NFL, combined. That's that type, you know what I'm saying, Cap. But I'm going to let him get started as we always do. Go ahead and shout out your A-libs, your handles, anything you got.
As you guys can see, season is worked out.
All right, and you already know it's your boy Shaw P90, Anime Swag Fitness, and Common Sense here. So, like I said, this is Sports Edition. We've been trying to get do it. So now we're going to be having these videos rolling, more and more frequently. So we're going to do the the Brittney Griner situation, right, and the Deshaun Watson debacle. So for anybody who doesn't know, if you live under a rock in the United States, Brittney Griner is a WNBA player who was in. I'm trying not to laugh. Who is who was in Russia, right? And while she was in Russia, she got caught, with some alleged drug paraphernalia. And everybody that knows, or if you don't know, Russia don't play like that, right? They already don't like us. So she got locked up for that. And then old Sleepy Joe, pretty much bartered essentially for her release. And yeah. Um and then the Deshaun Watson situation, right? Deshaun Watson is an NFL quarterback who started off playing college for Clemson, and then he eventually got drafted to the Texans and is now with the Cleveland Browns. His situation is he was I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. he was. He's been accused of, like, seriously though. He's been accused of like 22 different, like, sexual allegations. But they've kind of summed it up to essentially him receiving happy endings at massage parlors. And I guess we're gonna start there first because I think it's hilarious. And I'm going to let the sports expert go ahead and kick it off with Sean Watson. Go ahead on, brother.
Well, this isn't really a sports topic, but yeah, I mean it is sports because it's them. But
It's hilarious though.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't say it's hilarious. It's pretty. I think it's an unfortunate situation. I think
I think
in
it's very
I
funny.
get what you're saying. Why it's hilarious. I mean it's in theory it's funny, but it's not funny because people are. It's a crappy situation. Like it's you don't really know who to believe. I know the state of Texas, they've already, there's, I believe there was, they've already, they stopped trying to pursue criminal charges against him. So that should tell you a lot.
Yeah.
I think he settled on almost all of the cases.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there's only one that's still active that has not been settled yet. I'm sure that will be settled very soon.
Very soon.
So we don't really know what happened between him and the women. I guess there were massages. Some of them were not massages. It's between them. I think it's an interesting situation. Recently, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, the NFL did come out and give him the 6-game suspension.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is looking at appealing the judges. Well, they're like their judge, so to speak.
Yeah.
Appealing that. So it should be interesting. The NFL would like to kind of put down more of a heavy hammer on him, give him a year as well as a fine, and also have to do some type of training. You know what I mean? Those trainings. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, we'll see how it goes. To me, I don't understand how you can give him. I guess basically at the end of the day, they're saying that he broke. He was a breach of the NFL's code of conduct,
Mm-hmm.
and that is separate. So, like you can not be
Charged criminally.
you can not be charged criminally, but you can be like at work, breach your code of conduct. So,
Yeah.
from that perspective, I can understand where they're coming from. But it's like I was reading some of the articles from ESPN and like the NFL, like the Mrs. Sue Robinson, who was like the judge, so to speak. She said, she felt like he wasn't being remorseful enough But if you read all the statements from him, he is very adamant that he did not do anything wrong. So I'm like, dude. I'm just glad he's being consistent, right? Because the moment you start, the moment you start to, I guess, what's the word? How you say this?
Switch up or pretend.
Switch up, change course, start to basically, kneel to the mob. You're So I'm glad he's staying consistent. I mean, I don't know what happened, but stay consistent.
I know what happened.
Important. What do you think? Were you there?
First of all, you know what's funny? You say that though. So it's again Navy cat here, right? I've been to so many Asian countries, and you go in there, you get a massage, right? And guess what? And they even at one time, I was just in the shop, bro. I was just like in the shop, right? My homeboy, he genuinely wanted to get a massage, but he got massage like on base and everything too, right? So it wasn't like it was like out of the ordinary, right? And it was like our first, where we at? Korea, right? And the girl, she was just like, oh, okay, blah, blah, whatever. He said, you want a massage, right? So he's black, I'm black, right? And so he gave him a massage or whatever, right? And I'm talking shit or whatever, right? You know what I mean? He in the room, right? I'm just like chilling, I'm just like sitting down. And like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, you turn over. Like, it had been going for a while. Oh, you turn over and I give you, like, what she say? Well, I can't remember what word she used. Like, it was in Korean too, right? You know what I mean? But she made the, like, gesture. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? To, like, whatever. And I was like, and so me and both, it was like, nah, this ain't that type of party, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we knew, of course, but more from, like, the outside, just like most people know this situation, right? But, like, when you're in it, you're like, oh, okay, like, this is real, right? That being said, it's a service, right? There are plenty of guys right now who go online right now and find, prostitutes and hookers and stuff like that and hook up with them like all the time. You know what I mean? And what's funny, right? And I'm gonna read this quote like word for word, right? Ben Roethlisberger. Deshaun Watson should be banned from the NFL for life. You can't have sexual predators being the face of your league. I'm like, nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up, like you ain't been accused like 8 times of like fucking rape or sexual assault or some type of harassment, right? And if I remember correctly, I think it was like 4 counts of like sexual assault and like 2 counts of like sexual harassment. But it's like, really, dog? Really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, You know what I mean? Like, like he got happy endings. We joke about that shit all the time. Like it's a service. It is a service. Now, if you want to say morally speaking, if it's right or it's wrong, then to me, you need to lump all it, because the same cast is sitting up here trying to get on this dude about it, right? It's the same cast we sitting up here subscribe to OnlyFans or subscribe to Pornhub or all this stupid shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he's the NFL superstar, and he went and he got some happy endings. That's literally what happened. He got some happy endings. Absolutely, right? And the reality situation is that if he'd have just came in a suit, like a church suit, and apologized, yeah, we might not be having this conversation. But he don't feel like he did anything wrong because, again, he paid for a service. He did.
I mean, I agree. I don't think he did anything wrong. It's just at the end of the day, it's all about the optics. And to Ben Roethlisberger's point, you can't have a sexual predator or one he's perceived as a predator, the face of the league. Then his
big ass need to shut the fuck up.
He's being a hypocrite. But he is correct.
he need to sit
there. He can't be. They gotta lay down a hammer. They gotta show that we don't support this type of activity. Again, the optics of it. We know. I feel pretty certain that he never threw a woman up on the wall. And sexually assault her.
I don't think
so. Now I do believe there were some women who might have been a little bit hesitant. But the words "no, get the fuck off me" probably never came out of their mouths.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think again, this is like my assumption is that he would have kept pursuing it. That doesn't mean like there are situations like Darren Sharper where, most women think he was very attractive. He had a lot of money. And that dude was raping women and drugging them across multiple states, and it will never see the day of light again.
Come on now.
So there is precedent that says, just because you're attractive or have money or status don't mean you won't rape. So I'm not saying he didn't do that, but my assumption is that it was definitely mutual.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pretty crappy situation because it's tarnishing his name. they look shady because they took money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, come on. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like you wouldn't not shop, right? He wouldn't not shop because it's a known shop to get that shit done in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he's being an unruly customer or whatever, right, then kick him out. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. Like, you go to a strip club, right? You know what I mean? And you go to a strip club and like you get a lap dance, right? And then the dude's just doing too much, whatever, right? He trying to, take it out, put it in, all the stuff like that. What you do? You kick him out, right? You don't sit up here and try to charge this dude, right? You just kick him out because it's part of the business. So he's paying for a service at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, sex work is like really not legal, but like I want like Texas. I want to say it's like the only state that I know of that is like legal, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, so you're being a hypocrite because you're breaking the law, and then you're trying to charge somebody else for breaking the law. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean, I really wish this case would have went to trial, because at least they would have gone through the phone records, because some of these women he was contacting through Instagram. So it would have been very interesting to see, like, what was that, these text messages, what was that, Instagram?
I wish,
because I don't know. It'd have been, again, my assumption is that he was just trying to get laid. So it would have been interesting to see if we could have had that transparency, and then thrown that back into the world, so that way he could at least be able to defend himself properly. Because right now he looks like an asshole.
Yeah, but he's also, no. I would say, if we're playing devil's advocate, it's like if you're on trial for like sexual misconduct allegations, right? Probably shouldn't have a fucking world-renowned porn star in your fucking house, right? Playing basketball in a maid's uniform either, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm the same on both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think this is stupid, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's like, if you're under scrutiny, you should try to at least play the part. And this nigga sitting up here just like living life. He don't care. He don't give one fuck whatsoever. Like, and then if that's not even, it's like, even if he did it, right? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, she was seeing on his part, whatever. This motherfucker was like, look, he posted this shit on fucking social media. I'm like, you really don't care, dog. Like, I get it. He young, right? He's like, what is he, like 26 or some shit like that or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, bro, come on, dog. Like,
yeah. But the thing is, in our society, though, like, for example, Jimmy G also a couple of years ago was dating a porn star. So it's not really like what. Like, porn stars, I get this may sound, some probably come off as rude, but to me, porn stars have gained a lot of self-respect in a sense recently. Like, we don't look at them like when we were in high school. The way they're looked at now is completely different.
Yeah, because sexuality
is like legit work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to make fun of anyone who does that. Like, get your money, just stay away from my family. I don't really care, but it's looked at as legit work. So, like, I get what you're saying. The optics of it look bad, but in his mind, he probably thought it was normal. He probably did not think that was too weird.
He can't be that dumb. I mean,
I don't know, man. I mean, look at PJ Washington. Now, Brittney Griner isn't a porn star, but she's definitely a sex worker.
Point taken.
I mean, he was openly dating her.
Bro, all I'm saying,
that's wild too.
All I'm saying is that if I'm on trial for drugs and then I walk around with a cannabis shirt on, I don't really think that's smart. If I'm in the
agree.
Right? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Everything you're saying, hey, cool, fuck with it, bro. You right, dog. But I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I do, bro. I try to give niggas a pass, but I'm like, I really can't. This motherfucker just make.
I mean, when you're in that lifestyle, though, you think you're untouchable. So I mean, I get it. It's stupid.
Exactly.
Like, I wouldn't do it, but I take that back. I'm not in his situation. I don't know what I would be doing.
But that's if I live. But that's the thing too. It's like, yo, like, motherfucker, just pay attention, bro. Like, it's like, and I guarantee if he was to like talk to anybody, get somebody in his corner, like, nigga, look at Vic. That motherfucker wasn't even one that was like fighting the dogs. It was like his homeboys, but it was happening on his property, and he sent his black ass to jail. You know what I'm saying? And like, he ain't even technically do nothing wrong. He knew what was happening, right?
Yeah, but like people like Vic though, like people like that, like I remember watching I think it was a documentary or something like on Michael Vick, and I've noticed this pattern with like people who are just really skilled, who
Yeah,
are naturally athletic but never really trained hard. He came out and said that like prison was good for him because it made him appreciate football. So when he came back
true.
and played with Philly, he actually honed in on his craft.
He did.
I feel like to an extent, like people like Deshaun Watson just don't really take like he's probably spent his entire life, probably since like middle school. Everything's just been easy to him.
And
So
he's
like
been
for
worshiped
him,
his
like
entire
I get
life.
what you're saying to like use your brain, but he probably hasn't had to use it.
I
Can you
mean,
imagine the shit he gets away with on just on a regular basis? I mean, even right now, like and like to me, I think for me, I would play it differently. Like I would be much more for I basically pretty much be trying to kiss everybody's ass. Like don't get me,
yeah,
I would settle, but with the NFL, I would try to clean up. I would try to not be so like like I want to say cavalier, but I wouldn't be sticking to well, I would have never come out and stick to my guns like that. I would have been honest about what happened and be like, look, this is what happened. But
yeah, true.
I get what he's doing. He's sticking to his guns, but to me, at the end of the day, he's gonna lose out endorsements. Like he's going to be looked at as like Vic, but with massage with masseuses, and you don't want to be looked at like you go on YouTube today or Instagram. You look at like any dog video, any dog abuse. Michael Vick name still comes up. People will never forget that.
Yeah,
And to your point, he was apparently never there dog
he
fighting.
wasn't. Yeah, like
But
you know what I'm saying. It's
people
like
never forget it. So Deshaun, anytime someone's talking about like going to massage parlor or
you know how many
there's
like
like
you know how many
crews
like
or
old like
Asians walking by and they're
you know how many
women,
middle-aged
they're
white
gonna be
women I
like
meet
Deshaun Watson
like,
coming.
to this day. How many middle-aged white women I meet? They're like, I just think Michael Vick is the worst. And I'm like, Brett Favre been accused of sexual assault. Fucking Ben Roethlisberger. Hell, I'm a Baltimore fan. But damn near the entire fucking locker room been accused of sexual harassment and sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these motherfuckers is like all of them is like fucking perfect or something like that. But the one like you know what I'm saying? And that's the fucked up part too. Is like for real. So what you trying to say is like somebody like fighting dogs and killing dogs, and then somebody raping somebody allegedly, right? Allegedly raping somebody. Like that's worse. You know what I'm saying?
But you know how people are with dogs. People like dogs more like
I
humans.
love dogs.
But
I
people like
love
dogs more like
dogs.
humans though.
Yeah, but if my daughter got raped and then a dog got shot, who you think I'm be more concerned with?
That's the funny part. For all we know, he never raped anybody to begin with.
All I'm saying, folks. That's all I'm saying.
That's I think that's the most great. That's the crazy part. And you remember too, like his girlfriend. I'm assuming they broke. I believe they broke up. Deshaun Watson's girlfriend, but like
I don't know.
They still together now?
Bro, before we got on this shit, I looked. I was like, are they still together, bro? And I've seen nothing about them like breaking up. Not once.
I remember when it broke, there were reports. Not they were breaking up, but let's say her confidence in him was withering, right? And it's funny to me how like because here's my thing on those situations, right? I'm not saying she knew what was going on, but she isn't stupid, right?
I agree.
Like kind of what Kevin Samuel says, like high value men, they don't cheat the exercise options. So like, you're
absolutely
fully aware of what's going on. But I guess the problem is though, it's one thing for him to be out here sleeping with other women. It's another thing for him to be accused of sexual assault. So now she's sitting there thinking like, oh shit, like
this don't look good for me.
Do I stay with him? Do I ride it out? I mean, I don't want to end up. I don't want to be in this. Is this going to play out like a Ray Rice situation?
Exactly.
Because Ray Rice, like that was on camera. That looked bad. Or him, or what's his name? Kareem Hunt. Because that was bad too.
But this is what I'm gonna say about the Ray Rice, and it's not just because like I'm a Baltimore fan, because I know everybody be like, "Oh, well, you a Baltimore fan," but the Ray Rice situation, I ain't gonna lie, that was bad because he cocked back like he hit a grown man, like you know what I'm saying, like right, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, I don't know what happened in that situation. But this one that I will say is that Ray Rice is honest. He went straight to the team and he told them exactly what happened. Like so, they knew and they saw the video. The video got leaked. And then, because initially, right after it came out, it was like, "Oh, domestic violence situation." Ray Rice, and he was suspended for like a couple of games. I don't remember how many, like 5 or 6 games, something like that. And that's all it was. It was going to be fine. And then as soon as the video leaked, then Baltimore was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We didn't know that. Like, yes, the fuck you did. He showed them that, like, they saw the video. They saw everything, bro. Like, and then as soon as the leak, the outrage was so bad. And they were like, whoa, we didn't know this. Like, and then you want to try to cut this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, like, that's
I don't agree with that either, but I think that just kind of tells you the type of people he's around in the situation. Because so when I think back to the Kareem Hunt situation, and when he kicked that girl, to me, when I watched that, I looked at that completely different than Ray Rice, because I think Ray Rice genuinely loves his wife. They're just abusive to each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Like with Kareem Hunt, to me, that's what I like when I think of like these celebrities like that. I think a lot of them think of women as like disposable objects.
Commodities. Yeah, you're
right. The way he kicked her like, sorry for my words, I'm about to use, like, you skank bitch, get out of here from me. Like, that is how he kicked her. Like, he had no respect for her, like, at all. And I guarantee you, if she could have got back to where she was going the next day, she would have. They got no shame. They got no shame.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
But to me, that's what I think about this situation. Deshaun Watson is like, yeah, what he did was wrong, I guess. But it's like, these people don't have any shame either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these same ones everybody sitting there like screaming about this shit or whatever. But the same girls got an OnlyFans. So I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, you know,
you're just mad because he didn't contact you. Maybe you should put masseuse on your Instagram profile.
It's
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know about you. When he said that, I didn't know. Look, I had no idea people outsourced masseuses on Instagram. I know the thing, but
yes, you can find anything. Instagram is literally the new fucking Craigslist.
Yeah, and it's like the biggest dating app. And it's a really big dating app. No, but people use it, and another thing too is, you notice, not to get off topic, but you notice how, like, if you go on Instagram, a lot of these like nurses and stuff be like twerking, doing these twerk videos and stuff. Everybody is trying to, like, the people have no shame. I mean, they be in scrubs twerking. I've seen girls like at Wendy's work at Wendy's twerking. It's crazy to me. Like, there's no shame. There's no.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Deshaun, that was not a good move, but the way we operate online, it creates a sense of like just a lack of respect for women. Because if you keep seeing shit like that, you just think you just think, oh no, I hate to use that terminology, but what are you supposed to think?
Yeah. I mean, and that's I don't know, bro. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's like, I'll be like so over it though, like these days, because it's like, even when I'm like prime example, like what you said before, like with the girls, like who are nurses and stuff like that, who be twerking on like stuff like that, and then they post it, and then like you said, Instagram's supposed to be like a big dating app, and then it's like the dudes who are responding to like the pics that they seeing, like of you twerking with that ass out, whatever it is, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what you think? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like it's people just are like weird to me. It's like, if I'm trying to take a girl seriously, I'm not finna go to the alley, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's gonna be a great mother for my children, and she's gonna stay at home every night and cook me dinner. No, the fuck she's not. Like, you talk about, bro. You met her in that tight ass dress. Like,
I'm not saying she can't cook.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that like that's for like every girl, but I'm saying like, you can't go. You got to go based off of like generalization. The generalization is that like, yo, like, you probably met her there, right? And same thing for women. I'm like, if you meet this dude here on Instagram who's responding to all your liking all your thirst pictures and shit like that, or whatever, like, or baby, like, something should ring in your head and tell you like, hey, this nigga probably don't really take me seriously. He's just trying to smash. And you think, well, I'm not gonna put out and I'm gonna make him wait, and then I'm gonna no. As soon as he get it, he gonna stab, and then he gonna dip. That's exactly what he finna do, right? And if he do stick around, right, he not gonna take you seriously. Like, because then and it's probably gonna be an argument over and over and over and over again, right? Like, I'm saying, why you got all these thirst pictures out, blah, blah, blah. Well, you liked it, you know what I'm saying? Well, that was different, right? I don't even know what to say, dog. Like, that shit just like mad weird to me, bro.
Nah, I feel you, man. It's a pretty bad situation, and I think too, like, you know, when you go on places like Instagram, your content is curated based on what you like, right? So then
That's why I like Instagram so much too, because it keeps you honest. So if you keep seeing a bunch of girls twerking in your fucking feed and stuff like that, and you trying to do better in life and not fucking, be, on these hoes and shit like that, whatever, right? And it keep popping up, then I tell you that it's something that you keep watching, right? It doesn't go based off what you like, it goes based off what you watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's my thing. So it's like the problem is like you. Yeah, if you can see 2 point, if you like it, you watch, you're gonna keep getting more of that content. So it's just that's why I mean you can end up not respecting women, because if you're only liking women doing those things, you start to believe that's all women do, that's all they're valued at.
Yep.
And that's kind of concerning. That's why I think with people like Deshaun Watson, Kareem Hunt, they live in this world where like their actual physical world is probably represented like most guys' Instagram pages.
Yep. There we go.
Which is crazy to think that that's your actual physical world. But like I remember several years ago, I was with some family, and I think it was around Christmas time. Actually, it was Christmas. And we were in Atlanta. We went to Magic City. I remember seeing Shannon Brown there. And he was there with, I put his business out there, whatever. Anyways, so Shannon Brown was there. I could be capping, but I'm not. But anyway, he was there with some other, I think some other friends or whatever. And he just, he's making it rain money everywhere. I'm just like, yo, this is dude's regular life. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm in awe. Like, mind you, all the girls that, that were in my area just gone. Like, gone. These girls are literally taking trash bags and stuffing money in there.
There we go.
Stuffing it. And it's like, this dude lives like that. That's his normal everyday life.
There we go.
You don't live on the same
planet. Not even close, bro.
So it's just when I watch things, I look at things like Deshaun Watson, I'm like, dude, I can't even fathom that situation, because I'm like, I couldn't even get myself into it. Because I don't know. I almost like an hypocrite, because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, I wouldn't have access to be able to do that.
To that in the first place. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Woman on Instagram about massage out of state, she's gonna be like, I can't help you.
Yeah, there we go.
She's gonna assume that I'm not flying her out. But when they see him, they're like, oh, this is my rate. I can be there whenever. Hit me up.
There you go.
Do you want me to stay at your house? I can get a combination of this hotel. Just send, like I said, get flued out to Dubai, wherever else. These people crazy, man. They think that's your lifestyle. Live your life, but I don't qualify, so I can't really speak to it. I'm a regular guy. I got a wife. I got a kid. I can't live like that.
Yeah, nah, I agree with you, bro. But I mean, if you got it, you got it, I guess. And I think like it's like I don't know what they like. My big thing is that like, especially when you look at like NFL stars too, it's like we like put them on such a high pedestal, right? Especially the black ones, and then like a lot of people expect them to be like on some type of like moral like high ground, like you know what I mean? Like, and it's like no, they're not. Most of them are street cats from the hood, from wherever the fuck they are, right? Who got paid? You know what I'm saying? Like it is what like I don't know. What,
yeah, these dudes are just stuffing other people in lockers, like
bro. These motherfuckers is from like the Jacks, and this was the NFL was their ticket, bro. You know what I'm saying? Being a running back was their ticket. Being a kicker was their ticket. Being a quarterback was their ticket, bro. Like to get out the hood. And you really expect these motherfuckers to just like have this like, oh my goodness, like I'm on this, just like I have to just represent for my community. No, like nigga, this ain't Malcolm. The fuck you think, bro? Like these are regular kids. These are regular kids from the Jacks, bro. Like, and that's the problem. Is like, don't get me wrong, I love sports. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I also wouldn't want my kids to like look up to like like NFL stars just because they're NFL stars, right? If it's a good NFL superstar who gives back to the community and stuff like that, whatever. But that's where it comes to us like parents. So we got to stop like acting like these motherfuckers is the way, right? And then we idolize these motherfuckers right now, and then they have no more high ground whatsoever, right? Like this nigga clearly don't. Make no mistake. I'm not saying like I think that he was morally right in what he did. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't expect that from no 26-year-old quarterback from the Jets either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that's what you need to like get your kids and teach them. Like, hey, you shouldn't be idolizing all of these people and act like it's just like okay or something like that. And then when they get older and they do the same shit when they get older and they robbing, killing, whatever, don't respect women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or the women, get older, don't respect themselves. And you're like, oh, I can't believe that you would do this, Brittney. You're like, yo, the only thing she do is listen to fucking SZA and Lizzo all day. Like, fuck did you thought was gonna happen? Like, that's normal to them, bro. fuck, like, you know.
Listen to Lizzo.
I mean, like, and it's not even like a shot at her specifically, but it's like, and it's like I said, it's really not like, I mean, like, she's definitely like category, like Lizzo, like, you know, SZA and all each other, even like Cardi, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. And to me, it's ironic because like Cardi's lifestyle, how she lives, it's completely opposite from the music that like she makes, you know, too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they stay lying to y'all. And it's the same thing with these dudes who are like rappers, who like fuck bitches, get money, whatever, right? And they married with 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like bro, they lying to you. Fuck is you talking about? Like that shit ain't finna go nowhere. You gonna be 7 years old, alone. You know what I'm saying? And just be mad as shit and be ready to die. Like fuck is you talking about, bro? Like that shit don't work. So now they clowns to me, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Like they clowns to me, bro. Like and liars at that. So we moving on. You know what I'm saying? I think we didn't talk that one to death, but we're definitely gonna get in this Brittney Griner situation, right? So yeah, Brittney Griner, she is a pro basketball player. And she was in Russia. Why I don't know. To this day, was she playing? Was she playing like a game or something?
I'm not sure, but my assumption is that she has a contract for a Russia team. Probably
okay, cool. So she was there, and she was charged with allegedly smuggling drugs into Russia. Right? I think she was sentenced to like they tried to sentence her to like 9 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's what happened today. She got sentenced to 9 years as of today.
Exactly. Right? You know what I'm saying? Mad wow. Right? And then she's been detained. Old Sleepy Joe, the Joe Biden administration, made a deal, right? Made a deal to pretty much trade her for like an arms dealer that we had, right? It was an arms dealer, right?
Yeah, he's an arms dealer. He's pretty notorious.
Pretty notorious, right? You know what I mean? For this chick. Right. And I'm like, okay, whatever, right? And I'm gonna kick this off with first. Who anybody watch this video, especially for women, right? Who watches the WNBA?
Crickets.
Anybody watch this video who actually watched the WNBA and don't lie about it, right? And you get me in the comments, I'm gonna ask you some questions to see if you're lying or not, right? First of all, nobody watched the WNBA. Not even trying to be funny, right? Bill Burr made a joke, right? Which is the truest.
That joke was so funny.
It was so funny. And Bill Burr pretty much said that, like, first of all, nobody in the WNBA got COVID, right? Because they were always social distancing. He said the WNBA has been playing for the last 20 years with only 300 or 400 people watching, right? He said it is feminists, right, who should be there, right? It's for women. It's the WNBA. It's for women, right? And they should be watching, right? Don't expect the men who are diehard like NBA fans, right? Well, that's what we're watching. That's what I watch, right? You know what I'm saying? To go over and watch it. Like, if I don't care about WNBA, I don't care about WNBA. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch soccer either. That's got nothing to do with sexism. I just don't fucking care. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so he made that joke, which is hilarious to me, right? But it really kind of lets you know exactly where everybody's head should be at, right? I had never heard of Brittney Griner until she was under scrutiny. Cole, did you?
Well, I mean, I actually do I do watch a couple of games a year.
Never.
Now I watch a lot more women's college basketball, but I actually do watch. Like, I actually know some of the players, so I mean, I definitely watched her through college, so I knew who she was.
Unless they came out of OVU.
Nah, I didn't give a shit, but I knew she was.
I don't know none of them is, right? And I'm not in the minority. The majority of people don't know who she had no idea, including who she was, right? First of all, right? Why the fuck you would try Russia, of all places, to sneak to even don't even just like what this is one place you shouldn't do it, okay? You shouldn't even you just shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Black people only afraid of 3 types of white people. Okay, 3 types of white people. That's the type of the 3 types of white people that we're afraid of. Number 1, right? Rednecks. Because rednecks don't scare. They're not scared of white people, right? Like you go to a regular white person, you know what I'm saying? You can scare them. Boo, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't really know. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know, right? 2, right? Obviously, Klan members, right? Because you know, we don't know how many of y'all is really out there right now. That's to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like, trans, generational PTSD. And the last one is Russians. Them niggas fight for fun. Okay, their entire life is a struggle. Bro. I'll never forget, bro. I was at work and they it's not funny. It was at work, and like when we like edit the video, I'm gonna put it into your world. It was at work, and they like showed the most recent Navy commercial, right? And it was super woke, right? It was like it was like, oh, I went to college, and when I was in college, right, you know what I mean, I was raised by like a great, two mom household. And then and I was joining a sorority, but I feel like I wasn't serving the same way that my friends were. So then I joined the Navy type shit, right? And then, so this is true, right? So then in Russia, they played that video first, and then right afterwards, they played and I'm literally gonna like put it in like a quick little snippet of both videos right to here, and like right now I'm putting it there, right? And then the Russian a recruiting commercial, whatever, right? Is just bruh, it's like these cats, right? And these are real soldiers, right? Just out here just fucking running and fucking doing fucking pull-ups, muscle ups, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just lifting inanimate objects for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? Jumping out of helicopters, all this crazy shit, right? And I'm like, these niggas would beat the fuck out of us if we ever had to go to it. Like, if we ever had to go to any type of close combat quarters, they would kill us. They would kill us. They 100% would kill us. Russia don't fucking play. They do not play. Those are some of the hardest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Every Russian I've ever met, like, that was the one time I was like, I don't know if I could win this fight. Every single time I was like, I don't think I could win this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you play with them? Like their language is aggressive. You ever heard a Russian talk?
Yeah,
like, bro, like and they be like, I love you. That's what he just said. I love you, and I'm like, bro, that's what you just. I'm like, I'm scared. But what are you talking about? I thought you just ordered a fucking business train. Yeah, fuck you talking about, bro? Like,
yeah.
I don't know why she would. I'm like, girl, you dumb as fuck, yo, for real. Like, y'all be thinking this shit a game, and that's what happens too. Motherfuckers get so fucking spoiled and pampered up in America and shit like that, and then they be like, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen or whatever, right? I'm like, nigga, they still kill people overseas, right, for fucking speaking against the leader of their country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go on Twitter and bash Trump, Biden, whoever the fuck you want. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You might get banned. You might have fucking violated some community guidelines. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to Facebook jail, but you gonna be back. That's the only thing that happens here, and they get spoiled, bro. Like I don't know why she did.
Well, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's that so I think athletes in general have an overinflated value themselves, but I would say like women, particularly like in sports that no one cares about, like WNBA. She really thinks that again, like she thinks that
I was trying not to laugh,
but she thinks people care about her. Like for real, like even right now, she thinks that, and it's not actually true. It's just.
It's the current
like liberal media is they're virtue signaling to everybody to give a shit, but no one actually cares. So imagine if you've been living like that. When she goes to Russia, she thinks that she can just do what she can do in America and not realize there's consequences. And she's not the only one. The only reason we're seeing her is because she's apparently worth giving a shit about. But I'm sure there are tons of Americans who did stupid shit like that are sitting in Russian jails right now. Who will never get the hell out of there.
Nope.
And it's really sad because it's just like Americans think that like
they're untouchable.
The things that they think that America's law is like the law of the world, or it doesn't make sense. Like, no, bro. When you go to other countries, you need to be aware of their laws ahead of time. Because I know, like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know in other countries, like some other in Asian countries, you get caught with drugs, they'll fucking kill you,
bro.
Like she's lucky to get 9 years, in my opinion.
Bro, I went to my first year in the Navy. I was on the ship, right? And I remember we had like these import briefs, right? We have import briefs before we pull into a country, so to explain everything, right? So we have these things called like SOFAs, right? It's not like classified information. What I'm saying, it's just like it's pretty standard, right? And we would have a SOFA with the country that we whatever country that we were going to, right? I remember we pulled in Singapore and they straight up told us, like, we don't have a SOFA, right? The SOFA is a status of forces agreement, pretty much stating that if we fuck up, that we can, as Americans, like, we can come and get them and we're going to prosecute them, you know what I'm saying, under, like our law. We have a SOFA with them. One of the nicest countries that I've ever been to this day, It's Singapore, right? If you don't know where Singapore is like really close to like the equator, right? So it's super hot, super hot, right? Because you're like, because they're, which also proves, and that's another thing too. I'm gonna just say that real quick. I know it's random. Like anybody who be talking about this flat Earth shit, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers is retarded, right? Even when I went to Singapore, that should prove it, right? Singapore is closer to the equator, right? The closer you are to the equator, that point is like right on the curvature of the Earth. So that means that you're higher up, right? So it means you're closer to the sun. That's why it's so much hotter there. That in itself proves that the Earth's round. But whatever, right? So get out, right? It's like 120 degrees, whatever, right? But before we get there, right? They tell us like, hey, we don't have to suffer with them. So if you get in trouble out there, you're gonna get, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, right? The big thing that they had there was this thing is like it's been so long, but it was like if you like defile a woman's like something, right? I cannot think of it right now, it's been so long, right? But pretty much, right, like let's say if I try to talk to a woman, right, and she says no, right, and then I keep pushing it and like being like a fucking heckler or whatever, like they do in New York and shit or whatever, right, and like never let it go, right? Defile her modesty, right? You know what I'm saying? And then she can literally call the cops, press charges against you for that, right? It's super strict, right? For everything, littering, like it's a bunch of stuff, right? There, no joke, right? We had a had a dude. It don't matter. Like I said before, I didn't even know who the dude was. Whatever. He got in trouble, right? He got super fucked up. He got in trouble. He thought it was Spider-Man, right? He fucking pretty much tried to talk to the chick on the fucking train or whatever, right? Sorry, bus or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Kept badgering him, right? She told the police. Police came, got him. He ran, right? Ran, right? You know what I'm saying? Running, going to town, right? And then he decides to be fucking Spider-Man. Climbs up a wall or whatever, right? Falls, and when he falls, like you've been like you ever seen pictures like Paris and shit like that or whatever, right? They have like the little awnings like right over like the cafe.
Oh yeah.
He falls into the awning, right? So he falls into the awning and then crashes onto like like a table, right? You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, nobody was hurt except for his dumb ass, right? And they get him, right? They get him, charge him, whatever, right? And I was like, well, there's nothing we can do, right? Their regular punishment is caning, right? So a lot of people think they know what caning is. They don't know. And I'll admit I didn't know either. Caning, right? They take a piece of bamboo, right? Which is super hard, right? It's like age too. And then at the end of it is like a little curvature, like a tip. And then there's a spike there. So what they do is they strap you up, you know what I mean? Like legs, arms, everything all strapped up, and then they hit you on your back, right? The little curvature that has a spike up there that hits into your back and it rips skin out. Each time they hit you, it takes skin out. People have died from caning, right? Mind you, these are not like murders or felonies. These are like really pretty regularly like common crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So, and that's completely normal. And they told us that there. They told us like, hey, like they will can you. You know what I'm saying? Like they will straight up can. I don't know what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm like, bro, like, so I'm like, yo, why the fuck would you? I was on my best behavior. I didn't do shit. I was like, absolutely not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I got a little too fucked up, but I ain't hurt nobody. But you know what I mean?
But as Americans, man, we're in general we're idiots. We just don't we don't realize what the rest of the world goes through, and that's like it's funny because like you ever watch for example, you watch the NBA. A lot of these guys they think they grew up in like really rough neighborhoods. But you notice how like the European players, especially the ones in Eastern Europe, they look at them like they're children. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
they do.
yeah, you deal with some gunshots, dude. I grew up in war, like
Yeah, we
being
know.
bombed on. People don't give a shit. They're like, man, like they don't like they're the way they experience life is it's like it's not the same earth, it's
Not
not the
even
same
close.
world. So for her, it's just like personally, I don't agree with Biden trying to swap out prisoners, and it is my thing too, right? You know, you watch movies or just listen to any type of like political literature, anything like that. Typically speaking, you don't trade one life for many lives.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have an arms dealer who's sold arms, I know in like Africa or the Middle East, and has killed probably thousands and millions of people by proxy, Why would you swap his life for her life? I don't understand. Like,
It don't make sense.
I guess it's for political reasons. He's trying to like get reelected and trying to basically kiss black people's ass. But to me, I just don't really see the understanding of like why you would make that deal. And I think that's partly the problem too, because I noticed recently, like with the bodega situation in New York City.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, it seems like a lot of black people in power or even white liberals in power are it's like they're trying to like I guess make up for wrongs in the past for black people, but in ways that just don't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like
I don't understand why you would swap out an arms dealer for her. Now, if you want to swap out the arms dealer for some of our non-civilian personnel who've done spy work and whatnot, and
there we go. Yeah.
now that I can kind of get behind, but her, I don't give a shit. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Bro, like, and it's just like it's just like this liberal agenda just don't make sense to me. Like, bro, what the fuck y'all doing, dog? Like, I don't get it, dog. I really don't get it. And I keep trying to
arms dealer back on the street. Y'all understand ramifications? And we're not talking about like just like guns and shit. This dude probably got access to nukes. Like,
there we go.
And if he's been in prison,
bro,
this motherfucker's pissed. He was on a rampage. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I just don't get the thinking about like I don't know. To me, it's just like just hold her accountable. Like she needs to do her time in jail. Maybe I don't know what kind of program they got in there. Maybe she can teach basketball or something. Maybe she can get out early.
It's Russia. It's Russia.
But
so that program ain't gonna be no good.
Arms dealers just walk around.
Yeah, I mean, it's Russia. Trust and believe that program is not gonna be no good one way or the other.
Yeah, it's wild to me. I'm just like, why in the world would that even be?
Even a thought, bro.
When I heard it, I was like, why? Why is this even? First off, when she even came up on the news, like I thought it was gonna be like one of them little headlines, going a little ticker. I don't even know it was gonna be a full on like story.
Yep, it's true, right? And it's. I don't get it, bro. I really don't. I don't get it. I could care less. Like and I feel bad saying that. As a human being, do I hope that she's okay? And I don't want her to die or anything. Like, absolutely. But like, as an American, I'm like, bro, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, she don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't idolize her. I don't fuck with her, whatever. Like, I mean, I feel bad. Same thing for LeBron. Like, if that nigga was over there and he fucked up, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, bro. I'm not tripping.
And that's my thing. Made me more mad too. Was that her wife was able to get a letter sent to the White House.
Yep.
But them niggas get letters all fucking day.
Thank you.
This motherfucker must have been hand delivered.
Bro.
And Biden was like, oh, what's priority now? That's priority, but not homeless people walking around, gas prices, inflation, this war that's not in priority, but getting her out of jail.
I'm trying to tell you right
actually doing her crime.
That she did.
She was that's what it is.
No, she did it.
To me. Like we gonna waste resources to get her out of jail so she can come back and play basketball for a league that no one watches.
That nobody watches.
It's crazy to me. And then I remember watching people making comparisons of, if LeBron was in this situation to be different. First off, I hope LeBron is smart enough not to do that.
Thank you. That's one thing I give LeBron points on. He is smart, and he wouldn't do that, though.
I'm like, why would you be doing that? Like,
in the first
place. That's my thing. I don't understand this. Why do people, because I know people do this, who bring drugs across state lines. And I'm like, why are y'all doing that?
If you really bought that action and that's your life and that's what you do, I really ain't got nothing to say. But if you just there on fucking vacation, you already got a good job. What she do? I don't know how much she makes, right? But she makes.
That's another thing. Not to cut you up. They make good money, but they complain because they
don't make as much as the NBA.
Yeah, they want to make 30-40 million a year. I'm like, come on. Bro.
That's the thing. But people don't understand about the NBA, the WNBA, all of that crap, right? Like all of them, right? This is not like the government doesn't pay for that. Those are privately owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? So you would have to talk to that business owner. You know what I'm saying? And if they not selling, Ronda Rousey, I never forget, bro. They did an interview. It wasn't even a post fight. It was like a pre-fight. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up a couple years back, right? And back when she was still relevant. She's still relevant, but mostly for wrestling, right? You know what I'm saying? And this chick who's a feminist, right? You know what I'm saying? Again, I ain't it is what it is, right? She's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She wants to feel like, you feel like, women should, be getting paid more, whatever, right? And she answered it beautifully. She straight up said, Well, Dana White doesn't pay me, right? Because you know what I mean, he feels bad, right? You know what I mean? And that as a woman, I should be getting paid more. He pays me is because I bring in the most money for his company ultimately, right? And which is true. At that point, Ronda Rousey was the highest paid UFC fighter, right? In the entire UFC, she was making the most, right? And it was just a business. And that's what people don't understand. It's like if you're not making nobody money, it's like, why would I pay you? Why should I pay you this? Why should I pay you the same amount? Like, you know, it's a business. Anyway. Why should I pay you the same amount just because you're like, I don't care. You can go cry to somebody who's going to listen to you. Go talk to your husband. Go talk to your fucking boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like me saying, oh, because I'm black, I feel like I should get paid the same as another fucking NFL player. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a third string quarterback and I really have only played like once, you know what I'm saying? I want to go to training camp. Like, fuck out my face, bro. Like, and no man would ever say that, though. Like, I'd be like, bro, y'all tripping, bro.
And I think, like, for the WNBA, I think they need to, I don't know, spend some time
in the real world,
the USTA and just the tennis in general, and figure out what is it. You know, people love women's tennis. They make crazy money, and they deserve it. They need to figure out what they doing to keep it. And this has been going on obviously for like over 100 years. It's always been popular. But what is it about that? What is it about women's tennis that's so popular?
Yep, there we go. I mean, because it's like one of those sports that like it's not overly like athletic. So it's like, all right, cool. I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with, you know, this person you know, playing tennis or whatever, right? Let's be real, especially as men, and you can say whatever you want about men. Men are very, very we're just visual creatures, right? So if you look at, and that's the biggest thing, right? We either watch people that we want to be like or we want to fuck. In general, that's just how it goes, right? So the reason why people watch Tom Brady is because we want to be able to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Peyton Manning, like you look at any Ray Lewis, any of the greats, right? For any sport, it's like so whoever we want to be like. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to women, we don't want to be like a woman, right? That's just the truth. So for us, it comes to like who is more visually appealing. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. The WNBA players, right? They're physically like they're usually not most men's, you know, physical go to, right? And the few ones that are always make a name. What was that light skinned chick that came out a couple of years ago? I can't remember her name, but everybody was like, "Oh my god!"
Yes, Skylar Diggins Smith.
There we go. There we go. And they weren't tripping because like, oh shit, because her 3-point or her 3 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Was like on 1,000, right? And she was getting all the rebounds like, because she was bad. Right.
But that's the sad part, though. They got her and some other girls who all look good, and even with that, they still can't get views.
That's my point, because women don't watch the WNBA. Men watch the NBA. Okay, and there's not enough. There's a football league right now for women, right? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh. Right?
The ones where they basically walk around butt naked.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, and nobody watches it. Huh? And nobody watches it.
And nobody watched it, right? Nobody watched it. They are even trying. The fact that they made that league tells me that they were trying to cater to men because they understand how men really are. You know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, right, when we look at sports, like in general, right, like, and let's be real, like men didn't watch women's, tennis until Venus and Serena came out. They didn't. I didn't. Most cats didn't. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck. They made it, right? And then one of them is super bad. I forget which one she is. I forget her name, right? She bad as hell, though, right? And that helped, of course. But then it also helped because she was really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she made it more exciting for us. That's like Tiger Woods in golf. Like, he made it fun to watch golf. That's why black people watch golf now. You know what I'm saying? It's, oh, damn, I ain't know niggas can hit the ball so good. You know, like, you know what I mean? I made a clown. All right, cool. I made a clown. But it's
I know what you mean, but I think tennis is one of those sports, though. It's like, I think tennis is like kind of like an outlier because of how long it's been around. It was always marketed to the upper echelon of royalty, where it's kind of hard to use that as like a use case. It could be interesting to study that to see why it's been able to maintain its popularity. Because like if you watch, like I watch tennis like I watch a good amount of it, right? And you look in the crowd, the women's games, it's men, women, but it's more like like to me, golf and tennis are similar, where it's like people who watch that sport and go to those matches are going there to be seen. It's like the equivalent of going to of going to like a of going to like Churchill Downs or the Preakness for like horse racing.
Yeah,
it's an event, right? Where basketball, it's not the same thing, and it kind of is, but it's only for like the men's side.
Yeah, I understand that.
So like for the women, it's just not it's just not there at all. Like I'd argue that's a lot of women's sports. Like women's soccer league. Does anyone watch that? I watch the Olympics, but I don't watch their league on a regular basis. And the thing about this, women, and that's sad because women's soccer players usually got great bodies.
They do.
Wearing short shorts. Yep. And we still don't watch that.
And we don't.
And they're sweating.
There we go. So that should tell you something. Like that it's a marketing, it's a draw, whatever. Like again, for me, sports is about emulation, right? I'm an athletic guy. Like I ain't trying to be funny. I feel like I could really, like I wouldn't be like first string, but I could be a third string. I could. I'll be real with you. Like I'm fast enough, I'm strong enough, I'm big enough. I got a good side, I got good muscle endurance. I really could, right? The reason why we watch football, right? The reason why we watch boxing, the UFC as men is because they are like modern day gladiators who are achieving these like unachievable, like inhuman feats that we want to be like, right? That's what it's ultimately from men. Every man had one point or another, right? This is an anime. This is an anime quote, right? From Baki, right? Every boy at one point has dreamed of being the biggest or the strongest man in the world. Every single person at one point or another, every man we did at one point, right? And that's why we like look up to these like athletes, not because of the more high ground, but because of these physical feats that they're able to achieve, whether it's boxing or UFC or football or whatever, right? I don't really care about no broads, you know what I'm saying? Like dunking a basketball. I'm just sorry. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And on the hierarchy for me, it's like football, UFC, boxing, rugby. I've been getting really big into rugby lately, and then basketball. You know what I'm saying? So even then, you see what I'm saying? For me, it's really like, so for me, basketball just not.
Yeah, because you like more contact sports.
I do.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? My brother, like, I don't know what they be asking. I'm like, what the fuck you want, bro? Like
that's the thing. It's interesting because it's like I like the WNBA, but I don't. It's and here's the thing too for me. I think if I'm gonna, you only got 24 hours in a day, right? So you come home, cook dinner, take care of your kids, whatever, right? There's only so much content you can consume. So like, am I gonna watch a movie? Am I gonna watch TV with like some girls in bikinis? Or I'm gonna watch these women go play basketball for 48 minutes.
There we go.
And it's more or less, and the thing is, it's sad, right? Because to your point about Bill Burr, there's more women on this planet than men. So we shouldn't have to, and he even said this, we shouldn't have to bear that cost.
There we go.
If women just watched it, it wouldn't be an issue.
There we go.
And honestly, women spend more money because they typically or traditionally supposed to depend on their husband. So realistically, if women all got together and watched women's sports, they could trample men's sports just because there isn't enough of us to support it, and we're cheap as hell.
Yep, and
they are used. If anything, I think honestly they spend more money on men's sports.
I agree.
Most women I know be like, "Oh, I love D-Wade. I love." Like, they fucking love D-Wade. They couldn't tell you shit about his game, nothing. But they loved watching it, and it's just like, but where's that same energy for your fellow women?
it really is. It's a lot of hypocrisy. That's why I'm like, bro, like I don't even care. So every time I hear a woman be talking about like that too, I'd be like, and it's so funny too, because especially like getting older now, and like being in your 30s is so weird too, because it's like you notice it. You like, man, these little young motherfuckers really get on my nerves too. Because every time I hear a woman be talking about something, it's always either somebody young or like single. And when I say single, I mean like historically single, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Like she got, you know what I'm saying, 3 different baby daddies and blah, blah, blah.
I know what you mean. It's that woman that's been like single for 10 years, but if you ask her last time she been intimate, she'd be like last month.
Exactly. I mean, it's what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's always those ones. Like they just like mad about the world. Like there's like almost like children, just like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whenever CJ, you know what I'm saying, can't get you, he trying to get the remote from you, you won't give it to him. He threw a little temper tantrum. That's what they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, oh, the world is this way or whatever, right? Yeah, like nigga, the world sucks. So what? Like ain't we can do about that shit, bro. We just do what we can and do the best we can and try to make it work. And you sitting up here throwing this little temper tantrum, right? And the worst part is that now under like this fucking liberal agenda right now, bro, like they really sitting up here like pandering to these motherfuckers. Like that shit is mad wild to me. It's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, and that's to me. That's what this Brittney Griner situation is about. Like, I'm just like, this is just like she really is just like a political pawn in my opinion on both sides for Putin and for fucking Biden. That's all it is to me. It really is.
That's really what she is. It's a dog and pony show. And hopefully and the thing is, and it's funny because like, you know, there's footage on her on TMZ talking about like, you know, she don't want to say way she doesn't want to be in this country. This country is racist. It's this and that.
Yep.
Now that you're in a sticky situation, you over here basically begging to come back here, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's sad watching it because it's just like, you have no idea how good you got it. You make great money to put a basketball in a hoop.
Yep.
That's what you do for you play basketball in a hole. That's what you do for a living.
I agree, man. It's wild to me.
In women's sports, you can like, and because she's so dominant, she could do that probably into her 40s. Yeah. And no one's gonna stop her.
Nope.
She can make a shit ton. Well, and she is because she's gonna come back here. And I don't think the WNBA, which to me they should suspend her because she clearly would fail a drug test.
But they're not going to.
I don't think they're going to suspend her because
she's a hero.
Yeah, exactly. She's the reverse. It's the reverse situation of Deshaun Watson. Yep. He's being persecuted for shit he didn't do. She's going to be a hero for shit she did and be like, oh, well, you know, the drugs weren't that serious, so it's okay. But yet, I'm sure you do have a drug policy in your code of conduct.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're going to ignore it, which is really sad. And they're not going to dock her pay or nothing.
Nothing's going to happen. I don't even know. But yeah, it's mad wild. But this was a great episode. You know what I mean? We going to keep on cranking these things out. We got the whole setup, you know what I'm saying? We are coming to you live in 4K. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys, and soon enough I'm moving, so you know I'll be able to get my ring light back, and so I know it'll be a little more clear. I'm sorry about that, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? ATL, you know what I mean?
Don't be telling people where I'm going. All you niggas following me.
Stupid, bro. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a great episode. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep on coming them out. We're gonna try to do we're gonna try to hit at least 2 a week. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do at least 2 a week, and we're gonna be live each and every single time. So that way, you know what I mean, it's coming straight to you. You can hop on in the chat if you want to. You can message us. We'll add you in the stream if you want to. And you got anything left to say?
Not really, but mainly, you know, just you know, I thought this was a good piece of content, and I just hope for everybody listening, you know, just take what we say. You know, is some of it's fun and games, but we are serious about what we're talking about. And
absolutely,
it is important to really be thinking about how the content you're consuming is really controlling your thought and how ridiculous shit stuff is in today's world. It's funny, but the fact that Bill Barr can make a joke that wasn't really he could have just been talking regular, and it wasn't really a joke. I mean, it was funny, serious. But it wasn't funny. It was he was just telling the truth.
Yeah,
it was hilarious. That's crazy that we're in a situation right now where people are telling jokes and they're just but they're not jokes, you know.
Yeah. You know, for me, like I said, you know, anything I say what I mean what I say. If you don't like it, you know what I'm saying, just remember you clicked on this video, and if you don't like it, please don't DM me or no comment or whatever. I mean, you comment if you want to. Like I said before, I mean, I'm gonna stick by it or whatever. And you can even come on the show. You can try to debate me. You're gonna look stupid probably.
But please do, because all engagement is good. I don't care what it is. So don't forget like, comment, subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but this your boy Anime Swag Fitness. You know what I'm saying? And we got C Julius Workout, and we are out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we'll see y'all next week. All right, peace.